Good morning, everybody. What's going on, man? It's your boy, Eric Reno. Check it out. So, before I get started on what I wanted to cover, I just wanted to say thanks for all the new subscribers and thanks for all the comments. You know, I got tons of comments and I try to respond to every single one, and I'll always respond to every single one. If I miss you, just resend me a comment or email me, or you can, check me on my Instagram. I don't really post that often. I'm not too big into social media, so I don't have a Facebook. I just don't really have time for it. But anyways, I just want to let you know I appreciate everything and I appreciate the comments. If I didn't cover something, just shoot me a comment or shoot me your thoughts, or if I didn't respond to yours, just send it again, because I'll always see it. You know, sometimes they come to my phone while I'm busy and then I just forget to go back, and the new ones I'll respond to. So I'll always try to get to all of them. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys something that you need to know. Whether you do roofing or whatever you do, I'm sure it can be applied, because this is insurance work. I'm going to show you how the insurance game is played from beginning to end, on the roof and then in the office when you're doing paperwork. This will make you a shitload of money. There's no doubt about it. Once you understand how this game works, this will make you money. So this video you can revert back to when you're dealing with your claims, especially if you're getting new to storm damage. This stuff pays mega bucks, man, mega bucks. So the margins on this stuff are probably north of 50%. So I'm going to walk you through this entire claim from the paperwork portion and then the roofing portion. So here we go. I went out to a job in Bloomfield Hills. So this is the roof and everything that we went through. What up, man? What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's well. Check it out. So this job, I wanted to show you an insurance claim from beginning to the end. So I just blew this roof off. It's obviously snowing out here. December 6th, it's cold as hell. But here's the situation. So a homeowner called me out here for an estimate. He already had 3 or 4 estimates. I believe I was the 5th one, which was the last estimate. So I got up here and checked this roof out, and I said, man, before you go hiring a contractor and paying out of pocket, you should probably call the insurance company, because it looks like wind damage. So you got to know when to recognize wind damage. Now obviously there's shingles missing here and here. I put in these, these shingles temporary, just so it didn't leak. But before these were here, this was wide open. Plywood was exposed. He had a leak in the house, which we're going to fix. So we called the insurance company out here. I met the adjuster. We walked around the roof, and they're covering it for wind damage. Now he chalked it all out, and I was hoping the chalk would still be here so I could show you guys how it looks and what's done. But you meet your adjuster out here, your homeowner's adjuster, and we go through the roof. Now go through the shingles and see what the damage is. Starting on this backside, there's obvious damage like this, where the shingle's completely gone. It's ripped out. The fiberglass matting showing here. So obviously that's that's wind damage. It's old. But stuff like these, where's a good one? Right here. See how this has a crease in it? It's ripped from wind damage. This is how you spot wind damage. Even if their shingle's not missing, this crease here is wind damage. Wind damage is not disputable because it's obvious. Now, what they did was they went up here, they check every single section, and they'll use sidewalk chalk. They'll write here TR, temporary repair. TR, temporary repair. TR, temporary repair, here and here. They count the shingles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 shingles on this slope, 10, were our cause of wind damage. So this slope's covered. Come over here, same thing. We got shingles missing, shingles missing, shingles missing, crease shingle. So this area here covered wind damage. Over here, same thing. We got a TR here, temporary repair. Shingles missing, shingle missing, or temporary repair there. So they covered this slope as well. So they'll chalk it out. North side, upper slope, W equals 10. So W would be wind equals 10, H, hail equals 0. I really wish the chalk was still here so you guys could see how it looks. So we come back to this back section, same thing. The stuff here is a little bit more scarce. There's a lot of creases, but due to the snow we're not going to be able to see them. But I believe back here there was like 8. So being that there's 8 back here, it covers the upper slope for wind damage. Now, I know you can't see it, but the plywood here is super sketchy. You can kind of see how it's got a divot right here. So we're going to redeck this upper. Now, when you get into plywood replacement, as far as insurance companies goes, insurance companies only pay for what they see. So what we do is issue a supplement. So once we redeck this, which we're going to redeck the entire upper roof, we're going to take pictures of the wood before, take pictures of the new wood after, and then you will submit it with our invoice. And it's called a supplement. So the customer will get a third check covering the plywood that we're replacing. Make sure you always get your supplements, because it's not often, or it's, you know, you got to make sure that you get paid for everything you do. So they covered this up here, this slope. The whole roof's 27 square. Down here, again, I know there's snow. On this back section, we found 4 crease shingles down here. So it would be the whole upper, the bottom down here. These slopes were pretty good. But once you get to like the 60%, 70% of the roof is damaged, they'll replace the whole thing. So what they're doing is replacing the whole thing, roof to code, and then where this leak was here, they're going to replace the ceiling damage and the drywall on the inside. So the net claim, and I'm going to show you the paperwork and go through it all, but it came out to $14,800 for a one ceiling repair in the one of the bedrooms. So we're going to take out one piece of drywall, mud it, tape it, and then paint the ceiling, and then replace the roof for 14 grand for 27 square. So if you divide that, it comes out to $550 a square is what we're getting. So insurance money, in the insurance game, you got to know it, man. You got to know when to spot this. 4 other companies were out here, and they said they never even brought it up. Now I know most of the companies won't even get up on roofs. They come with their eagle views, and you know, they already have the specs, so they will, you know, they don't know what the hell's going on up here. They didn't even know, he didn't know that there was bad wood up here. And there's obviously bad wood, it's squishy as hell. So I'm gonna go to the office and I'm gonna show you the paperwork and how it's all itemized and how to make sure that you maximize your bid. Depending on how your code is in your state, or you know, wherever it is, like we have to have ice and water 3 feet past the heat bearing wall. So if the overhang, and this is not a good example, but say that overhang was 2 feet. If the overhang's 2 feet plus the incline, a 3-foot row of ice and water is not going to be efficient to code. So you got to make sure they're installing 6 feet of ice and water, and you got to make sure that that 6 feet is in your supplement, or I mean in your estimate, because if not, ice and water pays so much per square foot. Everything's broken down to square foot. Valleys too. In Michigan, the valleys have to have ice and water shield in them. So you got to make sure that your adjuster is covering everything that has to be met to code, everything that's on the roof, and then whatever you find in the meantime is supplemented to the insurance company so that you maximize the amount of money that you're going to get for the claim. Now, you think, wow, $550 a square, it's pretty high, definitely pretty high. High profit margin. But in the end, it's not like we're robbing the insurance company. The insurance company has a set formula. It's called Xactimate. Xactimate is it's almost like a gridwork Excel format. Everything is itemized, and I'll show you this. And it's based on the zip code of the damages in, and they come up with that price. The customer is only responsible for the deductible, which is pretty high here, and that's why he didn't want to make an insurance claim, but it ain't no $14,000. I think it was like $4,000 or something like that, which is a high deductible, but still, he's getting a whole roof, interior work done, everything replaced for $4,000. So he's happy. He got a big discount. He didn't have to pay a roofer 10 grand to do this. I'm happy because I'm getting high dollar amount. The guys are happy because they're working, and everybody works out fine, and the insurance company's doing what they got to do. And not only that, but the insurance agent benefits because they were able to take care of their insured. So all the way around, it comes out to a win-win for every single person in the claim. Now, as I specified earlier, you got to make sure you can spot this stuff. If you come up here on a roof, or say you don't even get on the roof, you'll be one of those suckers that came before me that gave this guy a quote and then he'll never call back again. And then not only that, but since I got this guy's roof covered, if anybody else at his work or business, it's like, hey, I had some shingles fly off, call this guy, he'll get you a roof. And we're not scamming anybody. I don't want anybody to write any shit like, oh, you're trying to take advantage of the insurance company. That's what insurance is for. Insurance is for to protect you against wind, hail, or trees falling, or any other damage that's an act of God to your house. So we're going to install here our Certainty Landmark Pro Mori Black. We got the whole Certainty system going in here. We're going to convert the can vents over to ridge vent, redeck this whole upper level, and then I got my drywall guy coming in after. If you guys are roofers, you guys know this shit. When you do a redeck, you don't know how the drywall's held up. We've had it glued, we've had it nailed, we've had it screwed. When this plywood comes off, those rafters are shaky. It's not uncommon to get a nail pop or somebody slips and puts their foot through somebody's ceiling. It happens a couple times a year, but you got to take care of it. You got to have a drywall guy on deck for stuff like that, because if it happens, if it can happen, it will happen. So always warn your customer when you're redecking the house that here is the possibilities, hopefully not, but the possibilities of what could happen. We're definitely not responsible for any nail pops in the drywall, fallen drywall, or anything like that unless it's due to physical damage, because I don't know how that drywall is anchored to that ceiling. We did one not too long ago in Beverly Hills. We didn't even redeck the house. We were just loading the roof and doing our normal thing. Drywall fell. We went inside, looked at the drywall. It was glued to the upper ceiling. How the hell would we have known that it was glued? That's not really our responsibility. Now, being that I'm a good guy, I still sent my drywall guy in there. We worked it all out and we got it, you know, we took care of it for the guy. But since then, it was a learning lesson for me, because I know, you know, stuff is possible. So that's all for on the roof right now, and then I'm going to go to the office and we'll break down the claim. Guys, we're back at the office now, so let's break down this paperwork. The first thing I'm going to show you is the eagle view, or the schematic images of the roof, and this is how the insurance companies work. And really, on every single sales appointment, I bring one of these with me. Here it is. So this is called, you get this from rooforders.com. There is actually an eagle view version, but I like the rooforders.com. It comes fast. It's only 20 bucks. So no matter what I do, just in sales appointments and stuff like that, I always bring one of these before I come. That way I know the exact schematics of the roof and I don't have to get up there with a tape measure, which I used to do, but now I can do about 3 more appointments because I already have the measurements. So up here, we'll say it'll have your address up here. You get this for 20 bucks. You got to go to rooforders.com, which is right here, and you can get your schematic of any roof there is. Okay, so first page, it will show you the square footage of the roof. So it's 24.56, 2,456 square feet without waste. We run about a 10 or a 12% waste factor. So on a colonial like this, we'd probably be somewhere around a 10% waste factor. We got 27 and a third square. I always round up. So page 2, you have everything on the side that you need to order from. You have your eaves, your ridge, your rakes, your hips, your valleys, flashings, everything's going to be right here. Down here is going to be your pitch factor. Square footage is going to be over here. So if we're redecking the upper of this house is what we did. We can add all these areas and we can find out how much wood we're going to need. 3 sheets of plywood in 1 square. So we add up the square here, divide that by 3, and add a few for your, or multiply it by 3, I guess. And then we'd add a few for waste. This page here is going to show us our eaves, our ridge. We know how much ridge vent here. If we have to replace a gutter back here, we know it's 37 feet. And we can also figure out our ratio, 2-to-1 ratio for our intake versus outtake vents. It says eaves here, and then right here it says rakes. Here it says hips. I know it's a little bit muted. This page is going to show you the pitch factor. So we'll have all your pitch. This one's all 412, but you know a lot of roofs are 10 here and then 8 here. I also send these to my guys for invoices. That way they can break down, you know, prices per square change depending on pitch, heights, and things of that nature. So they can all base their pricing off here. That way there's no discrepancies. You know, nobody gets the short end of the stick as far as invoicing goes. Last page here is just going to have a grid work. So I always write, I'll draw an arrow and put bad wood here, satellite dish here, put a saddle behind the chimney here, you know, so that I'll always send them a picture of this if there's anything extra on this one. This one's so itemized because it's an insurance job that I don't need to do that. So that's a quick overview of our schematic report. So this is, when I was talking about Xactimate, this is in Xactimate paperwork format. Up here it's going to have the insured, their address, their claim representative, which is their adjuster that you're dealing with, their claim number. You're going to have to put the claim number on anything that deals with emails or calls. The first thing an insurance company is going to ask you is what's the claim number. Type of loss here is going to be wind damage, and then your estimate is for your homeowner's name here. And so I have paper and stuff covering each page. Page 1, you're always going to have something like this. Make sure you have this so you can contact the adjuster, and everything will go real smooth from there. This is what an Xactimate format looks like. So, sorry about the focus. I keep moving the damn camera. Tear off composition shingles. Everything's itemized. 23 square. 3 tabs were on, so they're going to put 3 tabs back on the roof. Now, I would never put 3 tabs back on a customer's roof, but the insurance only pays for the roof the way it was before the storm. So they're going to add 3 tabs, 27.33 square. So they're going to give us that 10 or 12% waste factor. Remove and replace is R&R. Ridge cap, this is going to break down to 91 linear feet, and everything's going to show us the depreciation, ACV's actual cash value. What it's valued at that time, plus the depreciation, is going to be your recoverable cash value, which is your RCV here. Ice and water shield. Ice and water shield's a big one because ice and water shield is not on most of the houses that have damage on it. Now, ice and water shield they'll always pay for, always in the state of Michigan, because it's code to have ice and water shield 2 feet past the heat bearing wall. I know I said 3 foot in the video, but it's 2 feet past the heat bearing wall. Comes in a 3-foot row. So you always got to make sure your ice and water shield is there. Now, when cat guys come in, catastrophe, we had a wind catastrophe earlier this year. They're not used to ice and water shield. They don't really know. So you have to be there with them and make sure that you're getting ice and water shield. If your overhang's past 2 feet, like this in my showroom, see this overhang here is 2 feet. So 3 foot of ice and water shield on that pitch will not go 2 feet past that heat bearing wall. So we'd have to go 6 feet of ice and water shield. Now your ice and water shield pays so much per square. So if we zoom back in here, we find ice and water shield. They're calling for 800 square foot of ice and water shield. So they're giving us $1,541 for ice and water shield. You want to make sure you get that ice and water shield because in a big claim, this is going to add up to thousands and thousands of dollars that you're going to miss. Come back down. We have remove and replace chimney flashing. They put a small flashing. They give us $350 for that. Your vents, again, they're replacing only what was there, so they're going to give us $130 for vents. I'm going to put in ridge vent. Step flashing, drip edge. Your additional charges, these are a big one. Anything for 2 stories gets an additional charge. Let's see, 2 stories or greater, and then if the roof is steep, this one's a 412, but if it's a 712, 812, 1012, 1412, there's additional charges for each slope that it goes up. So you got to make sure these are all additions that will change the value of the number in the end and what's going in your pocket. So we come down on this page. Recoverable cash value is $13,798.19. So now do the math yourself. 24, we're doing a 27 square roof, 412 for $14,000. It's pretty solid, man. It's pretty solid. Shingles cost, depending on what you go, I always go to Certainty Landmark Pro, so they're, it's a mid-grade 50-year shingle, and then plus warranties, usually around $200 a square. So $200 times 27 pays for all of my labor, material, dumpster, everything that I need. So you can do the math yourself. This job take 1 day to do. Second page is going to show us the bedroom if there's interior damage. So remove contents, protect the floor, remove and replace drywall, 1/2 inch hung. They're giving us 32 square feet. Seal the surface, latex stain blocker, ceiling fan, detach and reset, ceiling and paint, 2 coats, final cleaning. So this is what they're giving us here. $536 is your recoverable cash value. So this is what they're paying us. Brings our claim to $14,334. Miscellaneous labor, paint, drywall, electrical. If there's anything, they'll throw in some of that stuff for you. We have $365. So this is where our claim sits right now, $14,700. This will show us just, everything is broken down in Xactimate. Everything's item by item. So here's the breakdown of the actual claim when we line it all up. And this is the stuff that homeowners don't, nobody knows until you've done this many times. So you have to spend some time and really understand. Line item total, $12,996, okay? Overhead and profit. Overhead, O&P, or 10 and 10, is something that's applied when there's more than 2 or 3 trades on the job. So this one, we have our roofers, we have our drywall, we have paint, we have a little bit for electrical, so they give us overhead and profit. So what they do is they take this number, which is the net claim, 10% of that is this, 10% of that is this, which would be 10 and 10. So they give you an extra 20% of the entire claim on top of that because you have to oversee the trades and you have to be responsible for them. So it's overhead and profit, and you got to make money. Okay, material sales tax, $180 there. So our replacement cost value is $14,700. This is what we're getting paid to do this job. Less depreciation. Depreciation is what's depreciated off the roof, $6,825. Actual cash value. Actual cash value means the actual cash value of the house in the shape it is in today. So the first check they're going to get is for $7,875.10. Less their deductible. Their deductibles in the insurance deductible, theirs is pretty high, $4,820. So the first check they're receiving on the spot is $3,055.10. The deductible gets paid to you as the contractor as soon as you sign the job. So they paid me $4,820, plus they're going to give me the check for the $3,055.10, brings me to the $78.75. Depreciation, $6,825. Depreciation is paid when the job is completed. So when I send the customer and the insurance agent a final invoice saying all work has been completed, they'll release the depreciation. So this check will come in the mail in about 2 weeks after the job's completed. So that brings us to our claim of $14,764. This is the amount that's recovered from the insurance company minus the deductible. $14,700 minus their deductible. This is what the homeowner's getting. So the homeowner got an entire new roof, all the drywall, paint, and all that for the cost of their deductible. Now, usually the deductible is $1,000. So usually, if it's a big claim, oops, no, that was good. If it's a big claim, sometimes I'll just waive the deductible and just tell the customer, you know what, you don't even have to worry about the $1,000 deductible. If we're doing a $45,000 or a $50,000 insurance claim, I'm not worried about $1,000. We're making money. Being that this one's so high, $5,000, there's no way we could do it without that. So in the end, we're going to send the insurance company an invoice, everything itemized out just like this, for $4,764 less deductible. Deductible is paid by homeowner. So this is how the insurance claim is handled from beginning to end. Show up on the job, you notice wind damage. Tell your homeowner, call an adjuster, I'll meet the adjuster here. Make sure you're there with the adjuster and they get up on the roof and they see everything. After a while, you'll develop rapport with some of the adjusters. They know you, so they'll come up and they'll be a little bit more lenient in your favor. It happens all the time. You gotta know, you gotta get out there, you gotta shake hands. If you're not there, then sometimes they don't even get up on the roof. They'll just walk around and right up one slope. When there was creased shingles, not ripped off shingles, they won't even be able to see them from the ground. I know that this is a crazy long video, but it's so much stuff and it takes so long to learn this stuff. If I had somebody to tell me all the stuff that I just shared, I mean, I would have been doing insurance work a long time ago. Also, just to recap, if you need Xactimate, I'll do it for $150. You'd have to PayPal or wire me the money, and I'll get a Xactimate out written for you. I do need an Eagle View or a roof schematic. I'll help you. We can do this. Now, another thing that I do since March 8th, I have flyers and I have postcards already ready for wind and hail. As soon as it happens, I take them to the post office. I pay them whatever it is, $10,000, $15,000 to cover an entire area, and the postcards come out. Everything's on deck. I have roof signs that say free roof or wind and hail damage that go right on top of my signs, because once somebody sees that, the neighbors start talking, they want a free roof too. So it's the insurance company's job to pay for these. This is not stealing. This is not anything unethical. This is what we do, and this is what insurance is paid for. People pay insurance companies for 30 or 40 years, never make a claim, and then this is where we end up. So everybody's making money. The customer's happy because they got a free roof. The insurance company, the agent is happy because they took care of their customer. We're happy as a provider because we're doing a service, we're getting work, and we're doing work for a high price. And that's what it's all about, right? So we're not ripping anybody off. We're not doing anything unethical. So I'm going to conclude this absolutely long video, but I hope that you can find this helpful. And no matter what business, tree business, or whatever it is, if you need an Xactimate, I can write it for you. But that's about it, man. So I hope you guys are good. Stay up. Let me know if you have any questions about this entire process. Just shoot a comment on the bottom. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Check out the other videos. Now that it's wintertime, I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm going to make a lot more sales and presentation type videos. Also want to cover some advertising and Angie's List stuff and kind of how you build the big company and how you maintain it. So, all right, guys, you guys stay up, get out there, get that money. Make sure you don't let these high profits and high opportunities, high paying opportunities pass you up, because that's what we're here for. We're not a nonprofit organization. We're here to make money, do quality work, and make sure everybody's happy when we leave the job. So, all right, guys, stay up. Have a good week.